सो आपका इंटरेस्ट कैसे बना साइबर सिक्योरिटी में?
फ्रॉम कॉलेज डेज इटसेल्फ मैं साइबर सिक्योरिटी में था, टेस्टिंग रैंडम एप्लीकेशंस, ओपन सोर्स होगा या फिर कॉलेज वेबसाइट्स एंड ऑल, एंड आई वाज इंटरेस्टेड इन मैथमेटिक्स, सो आई गॉट इनटू मशीन लर्निंग एंड डेटा साइंस. So I got into AI, and then it clicked. अच्छा, AI could also have some security issues, so why not explore that?
सो आप अपने कॉलेज के बारे में बताएं, आपने कॉलेज कहाँ से करी और वहाँ पे कौन कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़े? जैसे आपने बताया आपका कॉलेज टाइम से ही इंटरेस्ट था साइबर में।
मेरा कॉलेज यहाँ पे था पुणे में, सब प्राइवेट कॉलेज affiliated with Pune University, and the course I took was plain computer science. Interest of cybersecurity just arised from discussion with different folks. So when I started my college,
तो एआई कैसे शेप कर रहा है हमारे आज के वर्ल्ड को एज अ सिक्योरिटी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, सिक्योरिटी डोमेन को कितना शेप कर रहा है?
it's a good question because a lot of dynamics is happening there, and someone who's starting to enter in the space will not be aware of how these dynamics changed over time.
हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। मैं आप सबका अपना होस्ट नितिश। आज मैं फिर हाजिर हो गया हूँ अपने ब्रांड न्यू पॉडकास्ट के साथ। आज के हमारे गेस्ट हैं निखिल, इज करेंटली वर्किंग एज अ एआई सिक्योरिटी इंजीनियर। सो आज हम इनकी जर्नी के बारे में जानेंगे। इन्होंने ट्रेनिंग प्रोवाइड करते हैं डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कॉन्फ्रेंसेज में, रिसर्च पेपर पब्लिश किया है, उसके बारे में आप एआई की डोमेन में आगे बढ़ सकते हैं और एज अ बिगनर्स से एडवांस एक पूरी उसकी जर्नी के बारे में जानेंगे। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। सो हाय निखिल, प्लीज इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ।
Hello, I'm Nikhil. I work on AI and security. So majorly I work on security of AI applications. Uh, Now my background is in AI and security. Currently I'm working on development of AI applications. Pretty much tested a lot of enterprise AI applications for different AI specific vulnerabilities. Recently, you might have heard about something called prompt injection, which is related to LLM vulnerabilities. There are few more, a lot more, which I'm working on.
सो आपका इंटरेस्ट कैसे बना साइबर सिक्योरिटी में?
फ्रॉम कॉलेज डेज इटसेल्फ मैं साइबर सिक्योरिटी में था, टेस्टिंग रैंडम एप्लीकेशंस, ओपन सोर्स होगा या फिर कॉलेज वेबसाइट्स एंड ऑल, एंड आई वाज इंटरेस्टेड इन मैथमेटिक्स, सो आई गॉट इनटू machine learning and data science. तब at that time it wasn't a case कि you have a proper curriculum of machine learning. If you want to learn it, go to Google, figure out yourself and learn it. So I got into AI, and then it clicked. अच्छा, AI could also have some security issues, so why not explore that? And that's how I got into it. It's almost 7.5 years back.
सो आप अपने कॉलेज के बारे में बताएं, आपने कॉलेज कहाँ से करी और वहाँ पे कौन कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़े? जैसे आपने बताया आपका कॉलेज टाइम से ही इंटरेस्ट था साइबर में।
मेरा कॉलेज यहाँ पे था पुणे में, in Hinjawadi. It's called I Square IT. It's a private college affiliated with Pune University, and the course I took was plain computer science. All the subjects of computer science जो उसमें होते हैं classically, whatever is, that's what I took. And interest of cybersecurity just arised from discussion with different folks. So when I started my college, I didn't even know about programming. So it was completely new to me. And I, when I talked to different folks, seniors, I got into cybersecurity. It felt like some kind of a research area, and that's where my mind is more aligned to than developing something. So it's more into research. It's like standing right at the forefront of something, and you don't see anything further than that, and try to explore that space. So that's what got me into cybersecurity. And there were few people, like handful people who were into cybersecurity in college days. Got aligned with them, got introduced to different groups of security in Pune, and that's how I got into it.
सो आप प्लेसमेंट कॉलेज से हुआ था या फिर आपने आउटसाइड प्लेसमेंट किया था?
मेरा प्लेसमेंट तो कॉलेज से ही हुआ था. Being known to security, you have to learn about operating systems, networks, and all those things. So I got placed into a company. Its name is Blaze Clan, and वहाँ पे my job was to work on AWS, build AWS infrastructures for different organizations. So since I was already aware of operating systems and networking, it was easier for me to get into that company. And that's what I worked on there. So security was just a sideline for that job. thinking from a defense perspective, how do you defend your AWS infrastructure from a security standpoint? But it's more on the development of uh, creating architectures, building the architectures, deploying their applications on AWS.
सो आपने उसके बाद डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कंपनीज में काम किया है, तो उसमें वहाँ पे कौन कौन से रोल में काम किया है और कौन कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजीज पे काम किया है आपने अब तक?
Okay, so initially I started into AWS and I got really well exposure to AWS in that organization. It's mostly like you get a blank AWS account, just signed up with adding a credit card, you get it, the root account, and you have to figure out everything by yourself. How do you deploy the infrastructure? What services you want to use? How can you automate all the stuff? So programmatically accessing architecture and all. So that's about AWS. Now, later on, I moved on to a cybersecurity company called Paya2, and uh, there my job was to implement AI in fuzzing. So that was my primary job there when I started working there. So uh, and everyone working there was working on security. So it's a service-based cybersecurity company which provides security services. They also have some products now for IoT security. So there I worked basic using Python to implement uh, deep learning models to perform fuzzing on their fuzzing product. So that was I initially working on, and then I got started exploring the security space for AI. So while deploying our own AI applications, I thought about these things like what if someone gets access to the models that I deployed? Isn't that our intellectual property? Someone should not have access to that. What if someone tries to bypass the prediction of these models or try to manipulate the predictions of these models? I started reading research papers, and yeah, then I started on AI security. So we started the entire vertical there. Uh, Initially, I was the only one working on it. So we created a service, an AI security assessment service, which we offered to our clients who are using AI. Now, the problem is the people that were using AI in those days, using machine learning and deep learning, they were not aware of these issues. So the first task was to educate them, saying that ये सब हो सकता है, and uh, this can really harm the organization if certain kinds of attack happens. And first we educate them and then test their application and then follow the same routine process of application security testing. And now I'm more into development, AI development, while doing AI security trainings and some side projects.
आपने इतनी डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कंपनीज में काम किया है, तो एआई कैसे शेप कर रहा है हमारे आज के वर्ल्ड को? एज अ सिक्योरिटी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, सिक्योरिटी डोमेन को कितना शेप कर रहा है?
That's a good question because a lot of dynamics is happening there, and someone who is starting to enter in the space will not be aware of how these dynamics changed over time. So initially, कैसे था? Data science, machine learning, deep learning was your AI. कि उसमें LLMs were not there in the picture. So language models were there, but large language models, the transformer-based architecture that you see behind ChatGPT and Llama was not there. So people were using AI to do simple tasks like classification of objects, say image classification, or segmenting the images, like drawing something on your face, creating different app filters like you see on Snapchat, uh, and then using it to perform build firewalls, text classification, if maybe some in some cases forecasting the sales, weather, all those things. Uh, Now that was the state of the art AI back then. What happened was the people who were building the AI were also not aware of these security issues because it was a very new area. Now, security came into picture slowly, and uh, for almost a decade back, 10 years back, we saw the initial adversarial attacks on AI applications. Now, that's what caught my interest, and I started working on AI security. And from then, we slowly moved towards educating clients. Organizations moved towards educating their own teams about AI security. Now, that was going fairly smooth. And then the disruption happened where LLMs came into picture, and everything suddenly changed. People started using LLMs more, mainly in POCs, not in the production applications. And they started caring more about LLM security, and they started looking for what could be the security issues in LLM applications, and that was the AI to them. So AI meant LLM, and you can see that in the timeline. So Google released a framework called SAIF. It mostly talks about LLM security, not the AI security, not the classic deep learning machine learning model security. OWASP released LLM uh, top 10 security issues for LLMs. So they didn't talk about machine learning security, they're talking about LLM security. So suddenly a shift happens where every AI security seems like it's about LLM security, not the other. No, it's not about, say, classic image classification model security. So now, whenever someone comes into AI security space, now they first learn about how LLMs are secure, how to break LLM applications, how to secure LLM applications. Then they start realizing, okay, there are different attacks possible on different types of applications which are not using LLM but using different algorithms in AI. That it's kind of shifting now.
सो आपने जैसे कि बताया कि आपने डिफरेंट कंपनीज में काम किया है, तो एआई सिक्योरिटी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इंटरव्यू कैसे होता है, क्या पूछा जाता है इंटरव्यू में?
AI security interviews are quite new. अभी तक तो वैसे कोई हायरिंग होता नहीं था for AI security as such. So I can give you a perspective of how I will approach an AI security interview. If you compare it with traditional cybersecurity interviews, what you will ask, you will uh, check the basics on OS network, cloud, web applications, Android applications, and you go into the specifics of the role that you are hiring for. But if you are going to hire for AI security position, what I think is most important is knowing how AI works. So if you do not have any experience building AI applications, at least in a POC phase or some hands-on experience of how AI works, you won't be able to make it to AI security. You have to have that understanding. And the other way around, like hiring someone who is very expert in cyber security in particular area like web security or mobile security, and then expecting them to grow in AI security is going to be pretty difficult because they have to first understand how AI works, which itself is a separate domain. That's the process I think one should follow. Check about AI, check your understanding about AI, try building some applications, and then think about how these applications can be attacked. So there are already existing. So on MITRE, there is a huge list of TTPs of how AI applications can be defaced. You can go through that entire list.
सो आपने डिफरेंट डिफरेंट टॉक्स में ट्रेनिंग दे रखी है, रिसर्च पेपर के पब्लिश कर रखा है, तो इसके बारे में ब्रीफ बताएं.
So all these talks, trainings, research papers, these are all byproducts of work I do on AI security. जब मैं applications test करता हूँ, when I try testing different AI models, things come into my mind. So I like teaching people, so I want to educate them on okay ये भी हो सकता है. If you have these kind of applications, it can be attacked in these ways. So that comes into my mind, and I try to draft it, and that becomes a part of my talk or training. Uh, so that's the process goes. Now currently I have two trainings which I do for corporate enterprises, government organizations, conferences. Mostly it happens in conferences. So one is more on developing AI and breaking AI applications. It's called ML for security and security for ML, where we talk about how AI applications are built, and then we try to break those same applications. And the other training is more focused on advanced concepts of AI security. So we talk a little bit about building AI applications, and we talk a lot about breaking them. So it's for those people who already have some experience in building AI applications.
लाइक आपने कौन कौन से रिसर्च पेपर पब्लिश किए, आप उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताएं.
So there's a paper called GDALR. So we have developed one algorithm to perform black box model stealing attack on AI models. So it stands for gradient driven adaptive learning rate. Now, what happens in model stealing is that you try to get access to the AI model that was deployed on cloud or on user's device. Now, it can be black box or white box. White box in the sense the model is on your device, you just try to extract it. So it it's basically reverse engineering the application and gaining access to the model. In black box, what happens is your model is deployed somewhere on cloud. You don't have direct access to the model file. So what you do is you pass some training, some data to the model, generate predictions from the model, use that predictions and the data to create a replica of the model that was built on cloud. Now, the research paper I published, it talks about an algorithm which can help you effectively train a local replica of target model. So that's the research paper is about.
लाइक आपने टॉक्स भी दे रखी हैं एम्स्टर्डम में, के बारे में बताया, और कितना इम्पोर्टेंट होता है टॉक अटेंड करना या कॉन्फ्रेंसेस अटेंड करना.
So it depends what you are looking for. Just say if you talk about attending the conferences, it really depends what you are looking for because for some conferences the passes are quite costly and it may not make sense to just go and attend the talks there because anyways that will come on YouTube and you can watch it later. Just for the matter of attending the conference and attending the talks, it's not going to make sense that way. But the community that you meet, the people that you meet there will can make a huge difference, especially if you're presenting uh, a session or presenting a tool that you developed. So that becomes really helpful. It can help you develop yourself. It can help you gain some contacts. It can help you get better jobs. So that's the advantage. But if you are actively involved in in the conference, like presenting something or delivering something, that makes a lot of sense than just going and attending it. For freshers, in most of the conferences, you have booths where you can just go ahead and apply to different companies. So different companies host their own booths in the conferences. You go to just walk to them and say that I'm interested in these things. They actively hire people from the conferences. They have a perception that people attending the conferences are voluntarily coming there with some putting some effort in and they are interested in the topic. So it's a good place to hire resources. If you're a fresher and you want to try getting into security domain, I think that's the good place to go.
कौन कौन सा रिसोर्स फॉलो करते हो अपडेट रहने के लिए, लर्न करने के लिए.
This is really important, especially AI security, where not many people are talking about it compared to other security. There are a lot of people, but compared to other spaces, uh, so usually it's the social media. So I have a philosophy of gaining knowledge. Okay, so it works on an algorithm in AI which is called uh, generative algorithm, genetic algorithm, sorry. So it tries to follow two principles. One is exploration and exploitation. To gain insights about new technology, something that is happening new in your area, you have to explore more. So you get exploration through social media, following right handles, following right people, uh, right organizations. You tend to see it there. Maybe try following good conferences. You will see a lot of good talks being presented there, and you'll get exposed to those researchers. So that is about exploration. Second is exploitation, where if you find that, okay, this is something that I'm interested in, just go and dig into it. Just try to say download the research paper, read each and every line, understand each and every word, the terminologies that are used, explore the research papers that are referred in that paper, try to read the blogs that you are interested in, explore each and every word in minute details, understand how the system works. That is about exploitation. So one is exploration, you explore, another is exploitation where you dig deeper into it.
सो कौन कौन सी इंडिया में जो कॉन्फ्रेंसेज होती हैं वो अटेंड करनी चाहिए आपके अकॉर्डिंगली?
That's a difficult question. So I'm not much exposed to this conferences space, as in I don't voluntarily go and look up their websites, see कि क्या हो रहा है, should I attend it or not. Mostly through some reference, they reach out to me and ask me to deliver some session or training there. So I cannot say ki which conferences should someone attend in India, but Nalcon is pretty good. It's a huge conference. It's growing with a very high rate right now. So more number of people means you can connect to more people that are interested in your domain. So I think Nalcon is good. Then if you don't have resources to attend the conferences, I would say attend local meetup groups. Like there's the Null community, which arranges talks every month in different cities. There's one in Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad, I think one in Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar. So across India and across globe, they have different chapters. So you can go ahead and attend those sessions. That is going to be more helpful because you can walk straight up to the speaker, talk to them about your interests and their interests, and you can meet people. You get time to talk to folks. Not everyone is moving around like how it happens in conferences.
तो आप कैसे देख रहे हैं एआई सिक्योरिटी का करियर आने वाले टाइम में, ये कहाँ मूव कर रहा है?
It's going to grow up definitely because the demand comes from where corporations and governments are putting in the money. So currently, a lot of them are betting on LLMs and driving a lot of POCs which are based on LLMs. So if you have a POC, successful POC, and you want to deploy it as a production application, then you have to test it. And who's going to test it? The people who are experts, people who are experienced, knows the AI security space. So uh, these security service based companies will hire for AI security, and also people who are internally building security products will require someone to guide the AI security testing there. So I can see in product based companies already groups popping up who are heading the AI security. They might start hiring for security engineers, AI security engineers, AI security researchers, and in service-based companies, the demand is just about to come. But if you talk about large companies like NVIDIA, Google, Anthropic, OpenAI, they already have their team, they already have the openings. If you want, you can go ahead and apply there.
सो वन लास्ट क्वेश्चन, आप एक रोड मैप दे सके एआई सिक्योरिटी के लिए कि लाइक बेसिक में ये आना चाहिए, बिगनर्स को ये चीज़ें बेसिक्स में पढ़नी चाहिए, फिर इंटरमीडिएट और ये एडवांस एज अ रिसोर्स के साथ कि यहाँ से ये पढ़ लो अगर किसी को आना है इस फील्ड में?
You can start from learning AI. That's what I said. कि पहले तो you need to understand कि AI कैसे implement करे. Try building your own models. Just build something simple. Just classify something. There's a TV series where they build an application to classify it as food or not food, banana, not banana. Just anything simple that comes to your mind. Just build that application and you will know how AI works, what are models, what are data sets, how these models are built, trained, deployed. So first you need to understand that, and the resources for that are available widely. You can take up any course on Coursera. If you don't want to spend money, you can take up any course on YouTube. So a lot of resources are there. My personal recommendation is Andrew Ng's course on Coursera about machine learning and deep learning. So that's a good course to start on understanding how AI works. That's the first point. Now, second part comes in where you think about AI security. For this part, you don't have much resources out there, so you have to explore more. Just go ahead and watch random talks and try to test different AI applications. So there are some frameworks which you can use. Like there is something called as Clever Hands. There is one called as Fullbox. There is Adversarial Robustness Toolbox. These are all frameworks to perform security testing on classic AI applications, not the LLM based applications. So you can go ahead and explore that. There's a company called Protect AI, which has good blogs about AI security. They have good open source tools that they released on AI security. You can explore those tools. Again, to understand how all this works, you need to understand how AI works, because if you just go ahead and try testing the AI applications, you will have no idea what is happening. So you have to first understand how AI works, then only you will get to know how to use these tools.
ओके, थैंक यू सो मच निखिल, आपने इतना वैल्यूबल टाइम हमें दिया और इतनी सारी बातें बताई।
Okay, most of it went into configuring the Zoom.
आई होप आप सबको आज का पॉडकास्ट काफ़ी इन्फॉर्मेटिव और काफ़ी वैल्यूबल लगा होगा, काफ़ी कुछ जानने को मिला होगा कि एआई कैसे डोमेन शेप कर रहा है, आगे क्या स्कोप है एआई का। अगर आपके कोई क्वेश्चन होते हैं तो नीचे कमेंट कर सकते हो। अगर आपको मेरे से 1-to-1 सेशन करना हो, नीचे टॉप पेज की लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन दे रखी है, उससे आज जाके सेशन बुक कर सकते हो। अगर आपको हमारी आज की वीडियो पसंद आती है तो प्लीज़ लाइक करें और अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ भी शेयर करें। सो तब तक के लिए टिल देन स्टे ट्यून्ड, स्टे हैप्पी।